here in our church building. I know you've missed it, because I have. Do you know it's been almost 6 months since we've actually met together in a big group? Things have been crazy. But I'm thankful to God because we've gotten the chance to meet outside. We got the chance to meet in VBS. And on September 24th, during Grace Kids, we'll be able to have the opportunity to meet inside our church building again, having great fun and learning more about Jesus. Well, I'm here to talk to you about what we've been doing for the past few weeks. When we've been meeting outside and when I've been talking to you through emails, we've been looking at the letter of James in the Bible. And can I say, including myself, people find the letter of James hard because it almost feels like James is telling us what exactly we should be doing if we follow Jesus. And he's very direct, just when our parents tell us what is right and what is wrong. And we don't want to listen. Well, James just goes right for it and he tells us, hey, you need to have ears that listen. You need to have mouths that are slow to speak, that you have kind words coming out of them. And in today's chapter, chapter 2, verses 1 to 13 of the letter of James, he tells us one important thing. He says, don't show favorites. Don't have favorites. Yes, don't have favorites. Don't show favoritism, because when you're showing favoritism, you're judging who's better than another person. And he says, don't judge. Don't have favorites. Now at this point, he says, Diana, I'm kind to everyone. I don't have favorites. But James gives us a situation in church. He says, when you come in, you look at some people and they look rich and wealthy and clean and well put together, and you go to them. But you look at the people who look not so clean, maybe a bit dirty and maybe poor, and you don't want to sit next to them. He says, don't do that. Don't choose the rich over the poor. Don't judge who's better than another one because of what they look like or what they have or what they wear. He says, show love equally. Have no favorites. Now, what I love about James is that he really goes to the heart and makes us think about what we do. And let me ask you to do the same as he's asking me. When you go to a playground, do you choose which kids to play with depending on what they look like? When you go to church, if you're not just sitting with family, who do you sit next to? Is it just your closest friends? Or would you take the challenge, whether you're in the playground or whether you're at church, to look after the people who nobody's sitting next to go and sit next to the people that are being ignored or are being judged because they may not have a lot of money or they might be different than you. See, James really speaks to our heart and he says, look, Jesus shows no favorites. He loves us equally. Don't judge between one person or another. Don't have any favorites. Love people equally. Mercy triumphs over judgment. That's verse 13 of chapter 2. And mercy means showing love and kindness. And he says it's better to love and show kindness and compassion rather than judge people for what they look like. That's the kind of love Jesus has for us. That's the kind of love, that's the kind of mercy that Jesus wants us to have for others. Mercy triumphs over judgment. Mercy wins over judgment or favoritism. Why don't you practice this week, boys and girls, looking out for the person who nobody's sitting next to and show them the love of Jesus. Have a good Sunday.